Washington Football Maniacs.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another video podcast here on the Maniacs station. If you're new here, of course, we talk about the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Washington Football Team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins. If you enjoy talking Redskins and hearing commentary about our favorite team in the nation's capital, then stick around. I think you'll enjoy the content. I want to start off this video by saying I was totally wrong. I was totally wrong on many fronts, but the biggest thing certainly was I thought for sure that Terry McLaurin would sign a contract extension by today. And at the recording time, at the time of the recording, I'll get this straight in a bit, of this video is Friday afternoon. We're getting ready in a couple hours to watch some Commanders preseason football. And so we're going to enjoy this evening. But I really felt in my heart of hearts that Terry McLaurin would sign a contract. Now, why was I so sure about that? Well, for one thing, I couldn't really see why Terry would go to another team. He has what I feel like an excellent chance at getting to the Super Bowl with the Washington Commanders, especially knowing we have franchise quarterback in Jaden Daniels. The team looks like it has improved. We'll get the first taste of that tonight. But I really felt, I don't see how that Terry McLaurin would want to move on from the situation that he's in here. I could understand if the team was like 4-13 last year and we still had a journeyman quarterback or a quarterback that we just know probably is not going to wind up being a franchise quarterback for this team, probably not the future for this team, I could understand bolting at that point. Honestly, I'm surprised that Terry even signed an extension a couple of years back with the Commanders. But so be it. I really felt that despite everything, him hanging out in training camp, signing autographs, wearing T-shirts with team on the back, really honestly made me feel something's getting done. It just seemed like something was going to get done. And so the reason why that I titled my last Terry McLaurin video the way I did was I was so sure of it. But I will say, and I did warn in the beginning, the first, 30 seconds that, all right, the title may have been a little clickbaity, so I apologize, but hear me out. And I went on to discuss why I felt that Terry would sign a contract soon and why I thought it probably would even make sense for it to be this week. But I also discussed trade scenarios. And, okay, does it make sense for him to get traded to this team? Or, traded this player for Terry and a draft pick, and why it in a way makes sense and why it doesn't make sense. And so I felt it was a pretty informative video. And a lot of people who actually watched the whole video, and I appreciate that, commented and said, good video. I definitely understand once I kind of got past the opening parts of it. It was a really good discussion, and I really felt that because I gave some scenarios, given some real life data, kind of deciphering this is why I think this would work and this is why I don't think it would work. I really came to the conclusion that this is why I think not only Terry McLaurin signs a contract extension with Commanders, but on top of that, it should be soon. Like, what are we waiting on? So I was wrong. He didn't sign. He hasn't, at least by the time of the recording of this video, which is 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, a couple hours before game time, that it's probably not going to happen. And now, it seems like we're starting to hear, we're hearing so many differing, conflicting information about, will Terry sign? What's getting him closer to signing? What's pushing him further away? And now it seems like we're starting to hear more about, just the conflicts of uh, maybe the damage has been done a little bit with the relationship between Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders. And I'm not sure what to believe with that. And honestly, I still feel like in the end, cooler heads will prevail. And to be honest with you, I can't understand the logic that Adam Peters would have in not doing anything at this point other than forcing him to play out his contract and then letting him, bolt in as a unrestricted free agent next year, or to tag him. And maybe that's the plan. I don't think it's a great plan, because then again, and someone mentioned this too, and it makes a lot of sense. It's like, but then you look at Deebo Samuel, and you brought him in, and he's 30 years old. Are we going to pay him a contract extension, but yet balk at an extension for Terry McLaurin? Terry, technically, he's 29 years old. But if it's all about age, again, Deebo Samuel's right there. He's a little bit older. So why would you extend him? Or are you just renting him for a year and then that's it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around what Adam Peters is doing in this situation. But again, certainly a lot of people were very upset and very mad and said that I purposely misled them to trick the YouTube algorithm. Honestly, at the end of the day, you guys are going to watch or you're not going to watch. I have put out really good content, really informative content in the past that people just plainly didn't watch. And yes, it could be because the titles were not, attractive enough, not interesting enough. That could be it. But there's just so much that you can do before people will complain it's clickbait. Although I will say, honestly, the definition of clickbait is the title and the thumbnail has zero to do with the content of the video, which was really not true. Really did have a lot to do with the video, may have been a little misleading, and certainly I man up and I own up if it's misleading. Wasn't on purpose, but I apologize. I am glad that it got more people to click on it, to hopefully watch it and to hopefully enjoy the content. And I did gain some subscribers, and I appreciate that. I do think that we provide a lot of quality content here. And I actually had made a video just for this, but then I was like, I don't know if it deserves its own video or not. But I just want to say that there's a lot of Commanders YouTubers out there, and there's a few who's gotten pretty successful. That's their main job. This is their main source of income, which is great. I'm glad that they're getting a lot of success. They're getting big name, beat reporters and people tied to the team as guests, which is great. I did have Drew Theismann on, which I really appreciate him. He's one of my all-time idols from the yesteryear of Redskins land. And I hope to get more like that. But, at the end of the day, this is not my main source of income. I wish it was. But it's just, I do this because I love the team. And I've been a fan of this team for over 40 years. And so that's the reason why I decided to do this. Now, if I wind up making a great living off of it, it's great. I'm not necessarily, that's not why I got into this. But, I do get into this because I do enjoy the whole process of making videos and trying to nervously be in front of a camera, which honestly, I'm not a natural with that at all. I don't feel like I am. And just overall, just talking about something that's really near and dear to my heart. I love this team. I've loved them through the highs and lows. I've seen the glory years, I've seen the desperate years, and hopefully we're getting back into the glory years. But overall, this is why I do this channel. It's out of the love for the team. And hopefully people can at least respect that. And that's just all it is to it. Now, I had hoped to release another video that now is probably getting a little long in the tooth because honestly, a lot of people have already kind of said their piece about it. It's more about Jaden Daniels being a leader. I could still release that if you guys want to watch it. Maybe, if you've made it to this point, you can put something in the comments about, yes, please, I want to see what you have to say about Jaden Daniels. Now I'll release the video. But overall, I just, I felt like this was more important to release. And, hopefully maybe it mends some fences with some people who got really upset. Hopefully others will find that, with me being sincere, that that will make them want to come back for more. So overall, that's just really the gist of it. I really apologize if I misled people. But no one's perfect. I'm far from it. Again, I think part of it was just I was hoping to will it into existence that Terry McLaurin gets signed because I want him on this team. I feel like we do need him on this team. There's a lot of people who feel opposite of that, and that's totally your right to feel that way. But I feel like with Terry, we're better with Terry than we are without him. And now, as far as a degree of how that is, I don't know, but overall, I just hope that Terry does get signed, and maybe something will happen in the next few days. But as things start to progress, and as the time starts ticking away, and we get closer to the regular season, honestly, I really start to feel like at this point it could turn into yes, he does get traded, or he's forced to kind of just, are you going to sit out the whole season? And he may do that. And that's certainly a possibility. So is that what the move's going to be? Honestly, I'm not sure how I would feel with Adam Peters making that move, but plus if he winds up signing Deebo Samuel to a long-term extension, it is certainly going to chap a lot of people. And I would certainly be a little confused by that because I feel like up to this point, Adam Peters has made all the right decisions. Certainly has. I mean, look what the team did last year. So for him to be pretty stern in this case with Terry McLaurin, I'm not really understanding why that is, but so be it. Maybe he knows that we have someone already on the team who's going to become that wide receiver one, like Terry has been. Who knows? Maybe it's Jalen Lane. Maybe it's Ja'Cory Brooks out of nowhere, right? I mean, who knows? A lot of people in my last video, I talked about Luke McCaffrey. A lot of people seem to be down on him. And I mean, I'm not sure why, but I don't expect him to be wide receiver one, but I do expect him to provide some quality minutes for the Commanders. So yeah, I'm a little stumped on this because usually I can kind of see what's going to happen. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than anybody else or I can see stuff that no one else can see, but just the fact that usually I can be like, this is going to happen or this is likely. Most of the time it does, or it's close, or I'm within the ballpark, right? But this one, certainly, I thought for sure 100% McLaurin was going to get signed probably this week. Would not travel with the team, certainly. I can understand that, but would be ready to go to battle with the team next time that they have another preseason game. Really thought that was going to happen. And, maybe it will happen after this game. After they get back from New England, maybe something does happen. Folks, hope you enjoy this video. Again, if you're new here, this is not really what happens a lot. Usually, I'm not having to apologize for anything. It is what it is, but I apologize. Certainly fate had kind of, reared its ugly head this week anyway. For those of you who follow me on social media and the post sections of this channel, you'll know that my wife and my son were involved in a very serious accident yesterday. They're fine, but it was a scary time. Really, and I'm not playing on anybody's, sympathies or anything like that. It's just that's what happened. And so, had that not happened, I probably would have released this video yesterday because I'd already thought I was like, okay, I need to make this right because there are some people who feel like the Maniacs are not trustworthy anymore or anything like that. And again, you are welcome to feel however you want to feel. But I'm doing this honestly for fun. Half the time, I'm not even getting paid for it at all. So, I'm doing this for the love of the team. I love to talk Redskins, Commanders, and I want to continue doing it. And I plan to continue doing it. Won't put up with any really nasty comments. So I will tell you up front, if you get nasty with me, that your comments getting deleted. But other than that, I mean, I understand anger and frustration or whatever. But you know what? At the end of the day, it affects us zero. It really does. Seeing as how I almost lost my family yesterday, this should affect me 0%. Any negative, bad, ugly comments should affect me 0% because at the end of the day, those things don't matter to me. What matters most to me is my family. And I put my family above everything on this planet, put God above everything else, and above my family. But, underneath God is my family. And so that's always going to come first before anything else. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a share. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. If I have, that would be awesome. Just make sure when you do subscribe, you hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. That notification bell is very important because you have to be notified for all videos. Otherwise, YouTube will try to decide what you like and what you don't and won't serve you all of my videos. So I just want to make sure that you don't miss anything. With that said, folks, you have a great day. Let's get ready to watch some football tonight, some preseason football. Our Sam Hartman, he has been named the starting quarterback for tonight. So be interested to see. Folks, take care. I'll see you in the next one.